Disclaimer, photosensitivity warning. Alright, so, Spellbook Demonslayers. Let's hop in here. I'm trying, currently, my only goal is to just get level 50 on all of these to unlock this. And then I'm going to consider the game beaten at that point. Or I guess I'll have to, change stages, but I'm going to keep doing it in this. This game, I'm not going to be talking about this game, because this is, set for a rambling video, for me at least. But, this is the first game of its kind that I've played, right? I don't know about these games, right? So, what was it? It's Vampire Savior, Vampire Survive, Vampire Survivor. It's something like that, and I don't know why I know it exists. I just know that I do. I think it's because it was, nominated for Indie Game of the Year or something. Something like that. And, yeah. If it is like this, which I think it is, because I bought this game. Actually, I didn't. I bought this game, or I picked this game up because I think it was free, right? It was just in my recommended and it was free, or it cost $1 or something. And then when I loaded it up finally, it was like, oh, buy the real game now. It's like, I couldn't even play the demo because the real game had finally launched or something. And then it linked me to the real game, and it's like, yeah, the real game's $2, go for it. Which I did, and I'm having a blast. Fun game, but that's neither here nor there. It is about rambling now. And you know what? Let's talk all things Avatar, right? Why? So, and not James Cameron's Avatar, Avatar 2 now in theaters, I think. But Avatar: The Last Airbender. Anything and everything, whatever comes to mind, whatever I can think of. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Ooh, what's every Avatar character's favorite candy, right? Okay, maybe not that one, but you know what? Since I brought it up, let's do it. There was that one scene where Sokka ate fire flakes. I don't know that fire flakes would be candy though. They were being served at a festival stand. Is it the equivalent to, it can't be, the equivalent to Fire Nation, cotton candy. I would say Fire Flakes is more of a snack food, like chips or something. But I could be wrong. I don't know the logistics of Fire Flakes. But during the Embryo Players play, he asked for fire gummies. But we're not going to go to the Avatar verse. Let's use real world candy. And I feel like, Toph loves rock candy. No, none of that garbage. Toph, I want to say, Jawbreakers. But then I also want to be like, Toph does not have the patience for a Jawbreaker. If you gave Toph a Jawbreaker, she'd put it in her mouth. And then she'd be, I don't know. I just feel like Toph would just be pissed and want to bite down as hard as she could to just snap it, but she can't, because I don't know if you ever tried to bite into a Jawbreaker like Ed and Eddie, exaggerated as it was. And they ain't wrong about them Jawbreakers. Well, it depends on what kind of Jawbreaker you get. So Toph would want something that she could bite into to just be like, all right, now I'm serious type deal, right? To which I would say give Toph Lollipop or Blow Pop, because, in the center of it is gum or something, right? But Toph isn't a gum chewer. I don't see Toph as the gum chewer. Who would be a gum chewer in Avatar? The just type of smacking their lips constant. May is the gum chewer. Yeah, May's candy is gum. Maybe not the best, but that's what we got for May. Oh, what else? Toph. Yeah, I'd say Toph. Give Toph a lollipop, so Toph can just have, a perpetual stick in her mouth, kind of like Jet with his What even was it? I want to say it was a straw, or a piece of straw Jet had. Sokka. I want to say Sokka. Nerds. Yeah, because Sokka's a huge... No. Sokka. Sokka. Gummies? I mean, I'm going back to the fire gummies thing. Sokka would want... I mean, if Sokka's gonna eat gummies, let's be like... Gummy bears? Maybe? Sokka for gummy bears. Is that what we want to say? Sokka gummy bears? Ugh. I don't know that I would be like, Sokka loves gummy bears. But some kind of gummy, though. That's kind of what I'm at. And what I have in mind for Sokka. Gummies. Gummy bears? You know what? No way. Better yet, Sour Patch Kids. Yeah. I don't know why. I get the impression that Sokka would go for, like, sour gummies. Right? That's at least the impression that I get. Aang. I want to be like, Aang is the type of person who would be like, yeah, my favorite candy is whatever Katara's favorite candy is. But no, Aang loves... What was it? During the flashbacks at the Air Temple with him and Monkey Atso, it was like fruit pies, right? Some sort of fruit. There's this... I hesitate to call it a candy, but there's like this this gummy candy that my mom always get forever. I'm gonna be friggin' 50 years old. My mom's still gonna be like, here, have these gummy candies for Christmas. And like, it's not a Christmas present. It's just like, she always has them. And hey, I'm the last person to show up, so any like residual candy goes to me. And so it's like these gummies, and they're fruit shaped, and I mean, they don't particularly taste like the fruit, because how could they? They're artificial flavoring. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's too on the nose, especially if it's a candy I can't name. If I can't think of the name for the candy, we can't call it, right? So, is there another fruit-based candy? Ugh, what is it? Those, ew, man, I don't want to talk about them, but they were like these, like, chalky, strawberry, hard candies that my grandmother had in a bowl. Ugh, Aang would like those, wouldn't he? No. You know what? It's not a candy. That's why I don't want to say it, but Aang would love animal crackers. Aang would love animal crackers. And I know it's probably like, no, Aang's a vegan, or is he just a vegetarian? I forget. But Aang, loves animals. He wouldn't eat an animal. Animal crackers, bro. They aren't actual animals. And I've never eaten an animal cracker that was like a cow and been like, this tastes delicious like bacon. No, that's not how animal crackers are. They're just crackers in the shape of animals. And while not candy, I don't believe that they would qualify as candy. I'm going to say that would be Aang's favorite go-to. And you know what? It makes sense. Everybody else is over here eating meat, and then Aang rolls up, like, yeah, I want to eat meat. Give me just whatever fruits and vegetables you have on hand. And in this situation, it's like everybody's eating candy, and Aang just rolls up. Yeah, give me some cookies. Give me some crackers. So, I think it's in character. I genuinely would say that's something Aang would do, right? So that's Aang. Katara. Ugh. Is there a water-based candy? Like, I avoided to go for the rock candy for Toph, because it's like, I don't know, I think it's, I want to call it dumb, because that's exactly what Boomy's thing is. But it's too on the nose to be like, hey, you're a waterbender, your favorite candy is water-based. There's no air-based candy, but hey, leave it to us. We can deep fry, like, liquid deep fried beverages. We can come up with an air-based candy. Sit in front of this targeted fan, and we're gonna put a flavored mist in it and just shoot it into your mouth. We do that. That's gonna be at the next carnival you go to. But no, What's an airbender's favorite candy? Airheads, right? Missed opportunity? Nah. Aang wouldn't go for airheads, I don't think. Though Sokka, maybe. Sokka for airheads? I want to say is that he likes gummies, but airheads aren't gummy. They're like a taffy. You know what? Taffy for Katara? Katara for taffy. I don't know, man. I don't know that... A favorite candy for Katara. Nerds. I was like, Sokka for nerds? No, that was just a joke. But for Katara, I might be legit on it. Like, legit Katara for nerds. Maybe that's how I want to... is there something else that I think better suits Katara in terms of, like, a favorite candy? Like, if the Avatar crew was chilling out with the crew by the schoolyard, right? What would they be eating? Toph? Lollipops? I'm down for that. Sokka digging in a bag of gummy bears? I can see it. Aang eating animal crackers? Fair enough. I can see that too. Katara? I'm blanking. Katara, I want to be like Gushers, but Katara wouldn't want a messy candy, or a potentially messy candy. Katara? Something quick. Like something that you just bite and it's gone. Skittles? Katara for Skittles? I'm going to be honest with you, not as a Katara hater or anything, but that seems too lively for Katara. That seems too fun for Katara. And not on that episode of, I can be fun to Katara, just to crap on her or anything like that, because it's not what I'm getting at. But, like, I just want to be like, would Katara actually... I'm trying to think of anything that would, like... Katara plus candy. I don't know. First thing that comes to mind. Next first thing that comes to mind. Next first candy that comes to mind. I'm just repeating other candies in my head. Like, I haven't thought of a new candy. I was about to say licorice, but I don't think licorice is a candy. But you know what? If Aang can be freaking animal crackers, Katara can be licorice, right? But no, that's mean. Actually, Twizzlers. Look, the fact that Twizzlers are a named candy and they are still around means that somebody out there, in fact, a decent amount of people out there, love these things. I don't like licorice. I damn sure don't like Twizzlers, but that's me. And the fact that I don't like them doesn't mean that they aren't popular or a big major candy, right? So I'm gonna say Katara for Twizzlers. And I get it, because like Twizzlers are red, right? And I don't know, you thinking of these candies and attaching them to a bender, and it's like, the color should coordinate. That's not even a thing. So Katara can be Twizzlers. Despite the fact that Twizzlers are red, I think that it works for Katara to be Twizzlers. So with that in mind, who else? Zuko is boring. And I think Zuko, if you were like, hey Zuko, we're picking up candy, what do you want? He would honestly just be like, I don't like candy. I can't do a Dante Bosco voice. What do you want from me? But I don't think... I genuinely believe Zuko would be like, I don't like candy, or I don't want any candy type deal. Right? With that in mind, we gotta give him a candy, right? We have to give him a candy. So... if you gotta get one, Zuko, if you have to get one, I would say... You know what? Somebody here has to have a chocolate, right? They've all been candies. Well, except for Aang and Animal Crackers. But somebody has to have a chocolate. Zuko, Twix. Because of the duality of his character, right? Zuko can have Twix. Do you go for the left side of the Twix or the right side, Zuko? There's your question, right? No, but Zuko Twix, I'm down for that. I can see Zuko for Twix. That works for me. That works, I think. The rest of them, I don't know why we would even need to talk about the rest. May, we gave bubblegum. Ty Lee, you know what, just give Ty Lee like cotton candy or something, right? I think that's Ty Lee enough for her. Actually, if you were to use a word to describe Ty Lee, or at least for me, I would say bubbly. And so, I don't know. What's it? It's Skittles or Starburst? Pick one. It doesn't matter which one. Both of them, I think, fit Ty Lee really well. Skittles or Starburst. Right? What did I give Sokka? I think gummy bears or gummy worms. Or did I give him like Sour Patch Kids? Ooh, that's a good one for Sokka. Sour Patch Kids. Alright, Legend of Korra, go. Korra. I said that Jawbreakers would be too much for Toph. I said Toph would, you know, not have the patience. Korra, who is not as hardcore as Toph, and probably even more impatient than her, debatably. I do think Korra could go for Jawbreakers, though. Where I turned them away for Toph, I think Korra takes Jawbreakers, though. I genuinely do. Asami. Asami. Rebellious in nature. What would you give Asami? A sheltered, rich girl, a little bit of a rebellious nature toward her dad, or at least that's how I'm going to put it. What would you give her for a favorite candy? Butterfingers? I can't. I genuinely can't. I'm running out of candies. Bolin, Starburst. Didn't I give Starburst to like Ty Lee? We'll say that Starburst or Skittles to Ty Lee, and then whichever one Ty Lee doesn't get, the other one goes to Bolin. Mako, yo, what's the most flavorless, boring candy bar I can think of? Like candy bar. There's one candy bar that's just like a dark chocolate candy bar that I really don't. I'll mess with it. Let's just say that. I forget what it is. Mounds? Almond Joy? It's not even one of those. It's like a dark chocolate candy bar. And the fact that I can't remember it, like, that's all you need to know. The fact that I can't even remember it is, like, the big thing. But yeah. Oh, I was about to say Milky Ways. No. I'm sorry, Mako. I can't think. Yo, what am I doing? What am I even doing? Why am I sitting here talking about candy? I was supposed to be talking about Avatar. So Avatar The Last Airbender. It has been and will forever be my favorite cartoon. It has been since I was a kid. Yo, I have this memory of just being at my brother's for like a summer vacation. We were at his grandma's house, right? We were at grandma's house out near the beach. And I just remember, like, the parents are in there cooking, right? And the kids are running around the house having a great time. And me, like, I'm sitting there. What was it? It was like, hey, we're going outside to play. And I was like, what time is it? Yeah, the new episode of Avatar is on. And they're running around, they're yelling, they're having a great time. The adults are in the kitchen cooking and talking and drinking, I guess. And I'm just sitting in there on the couch in front of the TV watching the latest episode of Avatar during the vacation where we're out at the beach. I don't know. It's just a memory I have, and I think it's pretty hilarious remembering it. But yeah, I absolutely love Avatar. It is my favorite cartoon. Has been. Hopefully it won't always be. Not because, I dislike Avatar, but just because, I want other stuff to come out and be as good, if not better. I picked up an upgrade that is causing everything to be sucked towards me. I got a black hole upgrade. I'm pretty certain of it. Maybe I don't, and things are just crazy. But yeah, something is causing everything I hit with fire to just, push toward me. And it's annoying. So, anyway. I've watched a ton of cartoons. Every now and then there'll be a cartoon that comes out and it's the big cartoon that everybody talks about and loves, and they're like, it's the new one, it's the new thing. And I've seen them all pretty much. What was it was Adventure Time, 2010, and it was oh, you gotta see Adventure Time, it's the new thing, it's Cartoon Network's return to form, like that. Right, there was Steven Universe, and hate it or love it, no matter what your opinion of it is, MLP was one of those. All right, it wasn't just the brony echo chamber. MLP actually got a ton of positive reception for what it was, and yeah, I watched a lot of MLP. I dropped off at some point, but I watched it, and no hate to anybody who does, just shy away from something because of the property. But I remember being I think it was, I watched the first 5 or 6 episodes of it, and I was talking to people, and I was yeah, maybe check out MLP. It's actually pretty good. And they were just ugh, no, My Little Pony garbage. And it's yeah, I've been there. I've been in a place where I've turned away or turned my nose up at something because of the property itself, right? I'm not going to pretend that that's not something I've ever done. But, I don't know, at the point in time where I was when they said that, I don't know, I just felt, I don't know what to say. It was just weird to me to just have people be I'm not going to give it, people who would otherwise take my recommendation for something to watch are just yeah, I'm not going to look at that because MLP. And I haven't been like that for a minute. There was this one Barbie show that was recommended to me because somebody was hey, it's actually funny and it's a decent show. And I remember I went and watched that Barbie show, and I gave it a few episodes. I eventually bailed because, yeah, a part of me bailed because it was Barbie, but also it's a comedy show and it's a cartoon, so meh. I lack a sense of humor, all honesty. But yeah, I gave it some episodes. It was not bad. It was not bad by any means. And my takeaway was, maybe is because it is actually a Barbie show that I'm this is surprisingly good. Maybe that's what it was, but Avatar The Last Airbender. What even to say? Boy in the Iceberg is trash. Okay, it's not. But people recommend Avatar to everybody, and as well they should. Avatar is great, but it's Avatar does not start out strong. It does not live up to the hype immediately. I know that I am of the people who would say, yeah, Avatar is amazing. Avatar is one of the greatest of all time. You have to see Avatar. I am like that, but I would not begrudge anybody, and to my knowledge, I don't know anybody who's yeah, I passed on Avatar in the first 3-4 episodes, but I wouldn't be mad at somebody if they did, right? I wouldn't be mad at somebody if they dropped Avatar after the first 2 episodes. It'd be hypocritical of me to be you gotta give it at least 5 episodes. You have to give it at least 5 episodes, because I think Avatar can hook you by that point. But I've been in a situation where somebody's like, oh man, you got to give it like a season. You got to give it what was it? Final Fantasy 13. I don't know that. What was it? It was a it's not really a meme. It was a thing about Final Fantasy 13 where it's like the game opens up and becomes good in 20 hours, and it's just like, nah, like Avatar ain't taking no 20 hours to do that. But is it still hypocritical to be like, yeah, you got to give Avatar time? If you have not seen the unaired pilot, I don't know if it's on YouTube or not, but there is an Avatar pilot episode, you know, the first one made to pitch the show. It's actually really good. Okay, I mean, obviously you would know Avatar, right? If you know Avatar, it's actually it's not bad. It's not bad. It's still really, really good. I think everything about it, the animation, the choreography, all of that. The characters and the characterization is not what you know it to be. All right, it's not Avatar like you know it, and these characters aren't the Avatar characters you know of. Well, some of them aren't. Right? Oh boy. Luckily they abandoned ship with... Hold up. What was it? Sokka starts out as like super sexist, right? Well, okay, not the most sexist character ever put to animation, but still, he starts out pretty bad. And I'm like, there's another thing I remember watching where a character starts out like that, and then the writers are like, nah, we gotta change that. But it was Ruby. Weiss in Ruby starts out as like super racist. But in Avatar, like, look, I feel a certain type of way about the Kyoshi Warriors episode. Is that what it's called? The Kyoshi Warriors episode? Look, I think Sokka's change of heart toward, not sexism, but to the ladies, I think it's too quick. It's too quick for me. Okay? I'm not necessarily a fan of how it was done. Well, okay, I love the episode. Alright, the giant koi fish, the battle, is it with the rough rhinos? I like the battle with the rough rhinos. I love the Kyoshi Warriors, Suki turning up to put in work. And I actually do really like the whole Sokka hanging out with the Kyoshi Warriors and learning from them. But I still am like, yo, it's too quick. I'm still like, it's too quick. Despite the fact that I really like everything going on in the episode, I'm still like, nah, too fast, too furious. What else? What was I talking about prior to that? Oh, right, Weiss in Ruby. Yo, I'm gonna have to do another one of these and just talk about Ruby for like an hour. Ugh. But Avatar. Yo, what is there to say about Avatar besides it being goated? And still, like, I guess I want to be like, Avatar isn't as good as I remember it being. But I want to say that with, like, it's still right now, even now, my favorite cartoon. That has not changed. And it is hands down, like, I can't think of anything I've ever seen more than I've seen Avatar. Like, there are animes I've rewatched a ton of times. I've not seen them as many times as I've seen Avatar. There's movies that I have rewatched a ton of times. Nowhere near it. I've rewatched all of Avatar, like, I want to say like at least 20 times. I'm dead serious. There isn't an episode of Avatar I haven't seen at least 20 times. That doesn't mean I can give you a play-by-play of every single episode, though I probably could. You know, if I saw the first 10 minutes, or not 10, like the first, up until, not the intro, what is it? Like, I can't even remember the intro Avatar. Well, I can't remember the order. What does Katara say for the intro? Like, the order of what she says. She says, does it start earth, fire, air, water? No, I think air is the last one. Air is definitely the last one, but what's the order of the others? Water? I think she starts with water, and it shows Paku, right? And then earth shows, I think it's the boulder. Fire shows Azula, and air shows Aang. Ugh, I can't remember it. But the point that I was originally, going on a tangent about was that I'm at that point at like viewing number 30, because I did rewatch Avatar this year. I rewatched it all this year. No, I'm kind of at that point where I'm getting really diminishing returns, and like it's still my favorite, right? Nothing's coming close, despite the fact that I saw Gravity Falls, I saw Adventure Time, I saw Steven Universe, I saw what is it, Bravest Warrior. Like, there's constantly things that people are like, yo, these I'm actually a huge fan of the fact that there are a ton of cartoons that people are just like coming out of the woodworks and being like, yeah, this cartoon, you have to see it. It's a really good cartoon. I'm happy about that turn, but like, even so, I want to be like, look, no disrespect, and I've enjoyed the cartoons that I've been recommended in that vein, and none of them have been bad okay, I can't really say that. Look, I got my feelings about Adventure Time. I damn sure got my feelings about Steven Universe. Gravity Falls, I think it carried itself through to the end with dignity, unlike some of the others I can mention. Oops, I banished the wrong thing. But big but, yeah, not Avatar to me. Okay, to me personally, Avatar stands a cut above, and I just, but like I was saying, diminishing returns, and I feel as though I'm gonna get to the point where I'm gonna rewatch Avatar for the 50th time, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, this isn't as good as I remember. It's not as good as I remember. Ugh, I dread it. I genuinely dread it, right? What was it? In my latest viewing, like, the thing that got me, right? There are things that still can get me in Avatar, right? Like, it doesn't matter how many times I've viewed it, it still gets me. And it's not Iroh, Tales of Ba Sing Se. It's not Appa's Lost Days that get me. Like, don't get me wrong, they're still there. All right, they still turn up and put in work, but the thing that gets me still is Azula. If you know, you know, but it's the Azula thing that still gets me. And probably my favorite episode of Avatar, my favorite episode, because this one also still gets me in a different way. This is like one of the hypest things ever way, is The Guru, I think is the name of the episode. I love the entire two-parter Crossroads of Destiny. Or is it a four-parter? I mean, it's not like they're actually in parts, but it's like, you know what I mean, right? It's like the lead up to the finale and the finale itself. Yeah, I just love that. But the thing that gets me, even in my latest viewing, actually two things in my latest viewing that get me, and like get me in a super hype, man, I love this scene in this moment way. It's during the Guru, when Aang's unlocking his chakras, and it's like, what is it? It's like, even the four elements, which we think are separate, are one or something like that. I forget exactly what it is. I forget the exact wording. But you know what comes next, right? You know what comes next. He's like, even metal is, and the music just changes, and we cut away, and I love that. That's one of my absolute favorite moments. And the other one is the showdown at the prison. Which showdown? I think it should be pretty obvious which showdown I'm referring to. The only showdown that, has you gasping audibly. Yo, that showdown, when it happens, when it goes down, to this day, I love it. I love it. Oh yeah, I heard something around at one point, and it was like, Avatar is only good because it copied the homework of something that was already good, and that something that was good that they claim is I was about to say Star Ocean. No, it's actually not Star Ocean for once. What is it? Star Wars, right? Star Wars. And I've never seen Star Wars. I have no interest. I want to be like, yo, Star Wars was before my time. By the time, I was getting interested in movies and various things that weren't just cartoons, like, Star Wars was gone. That's what I want to say, but, like, there are plenty of people my age and even younger who have gotten into Star Wars. Maybe if I grew up and the Clone Wars cartoon was around, I would have gotten into Star Wars, like, legit, but otherwise, like, nah. Like, we didn't have Star Wars movies in the house. That's another thing. We didn't. And so it's like, I couldn't be into Star Wars. I didn't have a gateway to it. And by the time, I'm at a point where I can, if I want to, sit down and watch everything and all the things Star Wars, I don't really want to at this point. And so maybe the fact that, I never, I want to say got into Star Wars, or the fact that I never saw Star Wars is the reason that I look at a lot of things Avatar did, and I'm like, man, this was amazing. Avatar's the greatest. It's like, well, that's just a plot point or a setup or something very similar to what happened in Star Wars. Maybe that's where I am, but you know what? I'm fine with that. I personally am fine with that. Stories are going to overlap. Tales or things in storytelling are also going to overlap. Plot points, plot twists, various things. But you know why? And I could be wrong. Like I said, never seen Star Wars. But you know why I'm like, it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't this fluke of just copying Star Wars as homework. It's because of the comics that followed. It's because of, I don't know if it was The Promise. Was it The Promise? I think The Promise was 4 parts, right? Right? Look, various things about The Promise, but the part where it's setting up what would become Republic City, that part of The Promise, I think is some amazing writing that pretty much proves that, no, it was not just some fluke and a need to copy what Star Wars did in order for these guys to show off or to show up. That's what I want to say, right? And also, you know what? For what it's worth, Korra Season 1, I think that's another thing to be like, it wasn't a fluke. Now, if those were heavily inspired or influenced or copied the homework as something else, fine. But I want to be like, yeah, maybe it did have a lot of influence from Star Wars, but I don't think it was just some fluke or anything. And that's my reason why. It's because the comics actually really, really put in work. At least from what I can remember. And Korra Season 1. I don't want to talk about Korra, man. I don't want to talk about Korra. Let's talk about, I don't even remember the name of this game. Spellbook something? Spellbook Sanctuary? It is not Vampire Savior. But yeah, the thing I love, or the thing I was asking for at some point, I think it was either in Skull or it was in Rogue Legacy. I was like, give me an endless mode. If you're going to make a game, if you're going to make a roguelike or whatever, give me an endless mode. And guess what? In this, I've got an endless mode, right? And I love it. I was about to say I haven't beaten it, but like, can you beat an endless mode? No. But maybe it's a fake endless mode, and it's like Pac-Man, where it's like, oh, Pac-Man goes on forever, but it's actually like 255 episodes or 55 stages or something. Could be wrong. Uh, all right. Let's talk about Legend of Korra. Even though I wanted to talk about Avatar, is there anything in particular I want to talk about Avatar? What's the best bending? Airbending, because it's invisible and the power of flight can be achieved. Earthbending, because they don't really do. What was it? It was like the wall of Ba Sing Se was no. There was some point in the show, I think, where it was like, imagine me struggling to remember something that happened in the show that I'm like, I've seen 20 times, right? But I want to be like, there's a point. It's when, what is it? It's the episode when they're outside, right? When Toph just joined. It's that episode. Toph just joined and they're trying to camp. And it's like, Toph, help us set up camp. And I'm like, Toph made herself an earth tent. Okay, now Toph isn't really a master at this point. Well, at least I don't think she is. Like, maybe she is by the show's standards. Imagine being the Avatar verse. If you are not a child, an actual child, or an incredibly old person, you're just trash. You're just trash. The only person who was like, replaces a tornado, well, I don't want that. Like, the only person who was like middle-aged, let's say, middle-aged and actually good, I guess Piandao. Would we count Piandao? Because I don't think Piandao was like, he's a part of the old masters, but Piandao ain't that old. Nah, he ain't like the rest of y'all. Like, Boomy's in his hundreds. Well, yeah, I guess that's how you would say it. For him being like 112. But it's like, what was it? Zhao, pretty much trash. Zhao is pretty much trash. The only person who turned up who wasn't an old man or like a child was Ozai, right? Was Ozai. Imagine everybody else. Imagine being anybody else. Imagine being like 30 in the Avatar verse. You're just trash. You're just trash. If you're not an old person, like fully registered old person, who's a grand old master, or a child who is also a master, you're just trash. You're just trash. What was I talking about? Like the best bending form, I think. The best form of bending. No, I was talking about that episode where Toph just joined. And it's like, Toph, can you not make like a full-on house? Like a house? Like, can you not make an earth-bending house? She makes herself like a little tent. And that's fine. But I'm like, could you not, as soon as we sat down, make like 4 walls and a roof instantly out of some very sturdy earth? And so we just got a full house? If you were like picking, if you were going to pick an elemental, a bending power for the real world, I don't know, earth bending to just provide shelter whenever you need it, that's pretty strong. And it's not like, I get it, because like it's earth bending and basically making houses out of mud, but it's actually not like that. Those houses are going to be sturdy as I don't know what. You're basically just making brick houses on command, right? That's earth bending. You are pretty much just making brick houses on demand. Now, maybe it's like very incredibly taxing to do and for like your stamina, and that makes sense. That's a way to balance your bending, right? And the fact that Toph / like no other earthbender do I remember in the show actually doing that. Maybe it's not a thing they can do, or maybe it's actually harder to do than I think it is. But yeah, that's a really good one. For the sake of practicality, that is. In terms of like, just, I don't know, doing something really cool or really strong in terms of power, Like, if you were going to determine the best bending, which is kind of what I asked, what would you say would be the qualifier for the best bending? Would it be like the most practical thing you could do, right? Would it be like this bending is super practical? Like, if you have it, it's not that it gives you an edge, but you can use it at any given moment. There's no shenanigans of, hey, I'm a firebender, but hey, don't firebend in the house. Or, you know what? Firebending's got to be the worst. All right, it's just got to be the worst. And the reason firebending has to be the worst is because when are you ever going to use firebending? What could you ever do with firebending? Unless your intentions are to be evil or you're camping out and need to start a fire, what else are you doing for firebending? Like, I get it, you can do lightning bending, and you might be like, well, I can do something like in The Legend of Korra, Mako was working and they were just bending lightning. And so, you know, you can do that. But we don't really have the infrastructure to be doing that. That's not really a thing we do or have to do, right? Maybe you could actually get something specifically built. And if that's the case, yeah, that might be really good. That'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty strong to just be like, okay, I built this thing. All you have to do is shoot lightning in it, and it's a generator. You shoot like 10 minutes of a continuous stream of lightning in it, and you will have all the power you need for the next year. Yo, that's what's up. I'm actually down for that. If you can, and you know what? That's not too impractical of a thing to get done or to have done. If you were to choose to be a firebender, right? I don't think that's too far-fetched, right, of a firebending thing. Right? I don't think that's too far-fetched, honestly. Earthbending, I'm speaking about them being practical for the most part, right? I'm not talking about how powerful they are. If we're talking power, that's a completely different conversation. So I'm going to stick on practicality for the time being. And practicality-wise, earthbending is out the box really good. Firebending, it has the potential. It really genuinely does. But you would need something like specifically built or made for you to be, or tailored to you to be able to utilize it. But if you did have that done, yo, free infinite energy, I'm down for it. I'm down for it. All right, that's actually better than, yo, is that better than just having the ability to make houses and structures on command? Well, yeah, kinda, since those structures would be made out of dirt. I guess you could make them out of metal too. Fair enough. Practicality of waterbending, infinite ice, instant freezing, infinite... No, wait, no. Never mind. I was about to say infinite water and infinite ice, but waterbenders don't make their own water or ice, right? You actually need water or ice on... No, not... Yeah, I guess ice, though you could make your own ice, right? You need water on hand, basically. So the practicality of waterbending, instant freezing of water, and you can instantly defrost it too. So basically a cooler, an infinite cooler. What else? Practicality. There's no practicality in bloodbending. Like, even if you were, what was his name? Yukon? Was that his name? Even if you were Yukon and could do it whenever, wherever you wanted, I don't see how it's particularly practical to just be doing it. Like, if you did do it, somebody's just gonna look like you aren't gonna do it to the bank teller and then fake it like, oh, they just gave me the money. No, they're gonna look distorted and disheveled and all of that, right? They're gonna look like they're being puppeteered, so no practicality there. Waterbending, not great. Airbending, in terms of practicality for airbending. Practicality for airbending. I mean, you can generate a breeze. So, I don't know that you can control temperature like a waterbender. Like a waterbender they can't make it hot. They can make water colder because they could just make ice. Firebenders can control the heat and make things hotter. And there was that one episode where, cooled down the volcano, which I don't know about that one, man. Don't ask me about that. I'm trying to think. Practicality for an airbender. For an airbender? Airbender practicality. I don't know. Fast mobility, right? I think it's probably Nope. I was going to say it's the best mobility of the bunch, but then Toph did that earthbending running thing she did. Though, that would take... Like, she's running. You're basically just running, and sure, it's going to be faster than regular running, but still, that's taking effort, right? You might as well be on a super earth bike, at least as far as I'm concerned, right? Versus airbending, where Aang's on his air scooter, I would say that that's A, much faster, and B, it doesn't take any energy for Aang to do. Like, the only energy he exerts, as far as I'm aware, is to just conjure it. And then he's just free to go. So there's your practicality for airbending. Like, you got some incredible movement tech that other bending forms just don't, right? There's your airbender practicality. What else? Anything else for airbenders? Well, like I said, they have, what is it? They have temperature control. They have temperature control because they can just create a breeze on command. Anything else practical about airbending? If we give lightning to, firebenders, then we would give the power of flight to airbenders, right? Right? Power of flight. All right, that's. And you know what? I was gonna be like, look, there's some problems with flight, right? I love the idea of what is happening right now? Like, I get the idea of, hey, flight. Flight's great. I sure would love to fly, right? I get it. I gotcha. I understand why. But the thing about it is that unless you're wearing goggles or a freaking motorcycle helmet, like, I can't imagine that flying is that much different from just being on a motorcycle without a helmet, right? I don't know if you've ever tried to be on a motorcycle without a helmet, but it's not the absolute best thing, right? Try that, or better yet, don't try that. Never try that. Very dangerous. So yeah, that's what I imagine flight to be like. Right? I sure wish I could fly. No, you don't. And if you do, you think about it harder. But since you're an airbender, airbender flight, I think, is a little different. Maybe, just maybe, a little different. And that airbender flight, since you can control... Yeah, I just didn't have the damage. But since... Oh, I hit level 50. Cool. But since you can control air, like... I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. But there is that thing where you can make a little air dome. No, what was it? Katara made a water dome over Appa's head when they went underwater. So, never mind. There's another practical usage for waterbending. You can make little pockets of... Wait, that was all waterbending, wasn't it? Yeah, because Aang didn't help in that. Katara just did that. So, effectively, waterbenders can breathe underwater? Is that the takeaway from that? Is that what I'm being told? Is that what I was shown? This is new. I've never seen Shadow Mine before. I don't want to take it because it's a laying mine thing, but it's new, so... But yeah, practicality in, what is it? Breathing underwater. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because in theory, you know, you put a bubble over your head, like a fishbowl. The reason, you know, if you don't know, like in cartoons, I think mostly somebody can put a fishbowl over their head, like Sally Acorn, and breathe underwater, right? That's just a thing they can do. That's not how it actually works, because you're just inevitably going to run out of air unless you have, you know, air piping into said fishbowl on top of your head. Yeah, nothing good's going to come of that. And something bad is going to come of it, in fact. You're just going to breathe in what little oxygen there is there, and you're going to breathe out, you know, the thing that humans exhale. But yeah, for whatever it's worth, I do think that that's another positive for, or not positive, another practical use for waterbending. I don't know how often you would actually want to do that, but you can't. Wait, I don't remember. Was there a scene where Katara used waterbending to catch a fish? There was. It was like in episode 1, right? Yeah. So there's something else. But like, we do fishing, and like, if you're not fishing for like sport or fishing for leisure. It doesn't sound right to say leisure right there. But if you aren't fishing for sport or leisure, then, you know, we have better methods of fishing, I want to say, because we just comb with a giant net. So being a waterbender and being able to catch a single fish by taking the pocket of water it occupies, yeah, no, that's not really a big plus, right? What bending have I neglected? For earthbending, just makeshift shelters whenever you want on a dime. For firebending, for the sake of fire, you know, you got temperature control in terms of the heat, as well as if you got something made specifically that could handle you pumping lightning into it, hey, infinite energy potentially. Airbending, flight, movement tech beyond the flight. You just make yourself an air scooter and you are zooming. And then waterbending, underwater, you know, you can make yourself a little pocket, which, hey, that's actually pretty good, being able to just make an underwater pocket. I'm not mad at the idea. As well as temperature control in the opposite of fire. You got temperature control for cooling instead of heat. Not bad. Which of these would I actually want? Which of these is the most practical? Despite the fact that I would probably say airbending is the best one here. I would probably say airbending is the best, because just, you know, movement tech, movement speed is really, really good, right? Like, the ability to just at any point, actually, no, like, this is me. I think about like superpowers in a practical way, and that's why I'm like, hey, wouldn't you really love the power of flight? No, because I don't want to be on a motorcycle without a helmet, right? And I don't want to fly around with a helmet. You're gonna mess up my visibility. If I got 3, like, on a motorcycle, I'm on a road, so having a helmet isn't really that bad. But if I'm in the air and like full freedom and I have to wear a helmet, that sucks. I think that sucks. But yeah, I think about it like that, and so it's like, and so while I'm thinking about it like that, I'm like, hey, super speed, and then I think about it and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want super speed, because I'm gonna super not be in control. I'm gonna run super fast into something, and without super strength or super durability, I'm pretty much just dead. I'm gonna go super splat into something, right? That's me. So yeah, I hate thinking about it like that. I would probably be like, you know what? I would honestly probably be like, firebending's out. Firebending's out because I feel like I would just accidentally burn something. Waterbending, I think, might be really good, mostly because waterbending would keep me in check. Because unless I would have the water on hand at any given moment to like help me, I couldn't use it. And I know that's like really bad. It's like, hey, you can't even use your ability most of the time because it isn't on hand. But actually, I think that limitation is really good. Like if I was a firebender, remember, I'm like, firebending's out because I actually think I would accidentally just burn something or someone, if not just myself. But with waterbending, it's like, yeah, I could still, catch an attitude with somebody when there's a bunch of water around and cause a scene and do something I might regret. But even though that is the case, I think the fact that, I'm limited to doing that just when water is around is actually a good thing to have. I think it's good to have a limitation. So with that in mind, I actually think I would take waterbending. And there's also the fact that during that one scene that still gets me with Azula, the thing that leads up to it is Katara freezing herself, right? She does the Mei Overwatch thing where she encases herself in ice. And yeah, Katara does that, and I don't know. It's like she can control the temperature to a degree where she can solidify water and make, an ice thing, but it's not actually like super cold, right? Like firebenders aren't immune to fire. Look at Zuko's face if you need an example. And waterbenders shouldn't be immune to water or cold, right? But for whatever reason, which I'm going to just assume Katara can control the temperature of ice, which is crazy because, it needs to be cold for ice to even be made. But apparently she can control the temperature of ice because, when she was frozen and somebody else was frozen with her, there wasn't this chilliness thing. Maybe they were just so hot because of the intensity and the adrenaline pumping and they didn't notice it, or they weren't frozen long enough to notice it. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. I would say in terms of picking a practical ability, I would personally pick water. I like the fact that I would have a limitation, believe it or not. Even though I'm like, earthbending, and to just be like, I'm never not going to have a house or a home or a roof over my head. And, if I cause an upheaval of the ground, I can just set it back, right? It's like, oh, you messed up the entire road to put a roof over yourself. How could you? Well, I can just fix it. Bam. Done. And also metal bending. Metal bending was there. And for the people who really want to cause a scene, lava bending. Cool. Speaking of lava bending, Legend of Korra. Oh boy. I sure do have feelings about that. So, I think, I don't have a very controversial opinion when it comes to Korra. And it's like, I like season 1. Yay! Who doesn't? I don't know. There probably are people who don't like season 1. But I'm like, I like season 1. And then season 2, look, season 2 doesn't start bad. Alright, I think season 2 is actually very good for like a couple of episodes. But then it kind of throws itself. It kind of throws itself off of a cliff, and I've heard people talk about it and defend it, and I'm just like, no, I can't believe Yo, I cannot believe that there are people out there who are like, yeah, season 2 of Legend of Korra, goated, really great, amazing show. Oh, I love it. Like, for the first half, sure, but when we get Attack on Titan, I'm like, yo, who is loving this right now? And I want to be like, they knew because they pander. There's no other way to put it. Season 2 of Korra, they knew because they start pandering to get you back in. All right, and you know what I mean by pandering, right? They put in the things that is like, people are just gonna cheer for these. If this happens, if this character shows up, or if this thing shows up, people are gonna cheer, and that's what they did, right? They pandered, and I know they pandered because they were losing you. They were like, season 2 is losing people. We gotta throw in something to save it. Did it save it? Heck no, because season 2 continued. And yes, I am aware of what Nickelodeon did. Okay? I am 100% aware of how the show was treated and how Nickelodeon handled it and all that stuff. I am definitely aware. But that doesn't really... I want to be like, it doesn't change anything. Because, the writing's the writing. But it does, it did affect it. I can't pretend that it didn't have an effect, okay? You just can't. But I'm like, look, for as much crap as you can give Nick, and we should give them all the crap, screw them, for that. Oh my god, Last Airbender, the movie, ugh, right? But that's on M. Night. Yeah, boo M. Night Shyamalan too. Can you believe that this man... No, that's not the point. The point is that, yes, season 2, a lot of problems we can try to pawn off on something else, but no. But, hey, the positive side is that season 2 is the black sheep, deservedly so, but after season 2... We back in there. We're back in there. The getting gets good. Avatar fans start eating good once again after season 2, because after season 2 comes season 3. And season 3 and season 4 are directly tied to each other, I believe. Although season 3 and 4 are not without flaws. They are not faultless. And I don't know. I don't even know. Excuse me. I don't even know if I want to be like, it's because they're pigeonholed to season 2, right? It's because they had to directly follow season 2. And at that point, like, unlike season 1 to season 2, where, I mean, I can't say that they lost continuity, but like Korra by the end of season 1 and the Korra at the start of season 2, she just regresses. And I know why. You know why it's like that, right? You know why Korra had to learn, like, the same lessons again and go through a similar arc again. You just know. But I still want to be like, is that why? Can I be like, so season 3 and 4 had to be beholden to season 2 in some capacity, and is that the blemish that is on them? Yo, we can give Korra a lot of crap, but there's also still there's also a lot of praise to give Korra, despite the fact that I'm like, yo, can you... I feel like a lot of the things I want to say about Korra, the lead-in is, oh my god, can you believe people are like, season 2 of Korra is good? Can you believe people are like, Korra is better than the OG Avatar? Nope, I'm not getting into that, but it's like, I do like the fact that the Avatar parents, for the ones that we hear about, the Avatar parents are not infallible. There are a lot of cases, in some very specific cases, are terrible parents. But yeah, and you know what? That's understandable. It's understandable. Like, we live in a society, and we still get terrible parents, right? So, you know, in the Avatar world where you're raised in straw huts or mud huts and don't have actual technology yet, though moving pictures, thanks Varric, do come around. So, you know, bad parenting, it should be on the rise. Or decline? Point is, I do like the fact that the parents from Avatar are not infallible. Who else was hoping, right? We're way past it now, right? It is not a thing anymore, but who else out here was hoping that, my pickup range is amazing, immaculate, infinite. Go endless mode, even though I don't have the damage to survive endless mode. But who else was like, we were going to get the reveal for Toph's kids and who their father was? And who else was just like, Sokka. It ain't even that I was like some hardcore Toph x Sokka ship, right? That is not the case. It's just the fact that, you know, the seeds were there. You cannot pretend that they weren't. You cannot pretend that it wasn't, you know, getting played with, right? There was plenty of it there. And of the Team Avatar crew, Katara X... Wait, what is it? Yeah, Katara Aang, Katang, whatever, you know, the ship name for them is. But, like, Sokka Toph, they spent so much time together, and I get it, you know, not everything's for shipping. And Sokka, Toph, the broest bros ever. Alright, Aang was a part of that crew too. Alright, Aang, Sokka, Katara, not Katara, but like, you could just look at, what was it, it's not the fortune teller, the fortune teller's from season 1, yo. It's the Blind Bandit. Yeah, look at the Blind Bandit. What a fun episode. What a fun episode of just these three, minus Katara, obviously. But these three just having a great time. I love it. I love it. And so, you know, like I said, I was in the camp, even though, you know, not a heavy shipper. I was still in the camp of, Toph's about to reveal the father of her kids. Oh man, I can't wait to hear about how Sokka's the daddy. Nope. But I wish it was. Would it have changed anything? Does it change anything other than a word? Other than a name being said? Not really. But man, people would have lost their minds about that. You know it. I know it. People would have had a field day. There would have been so much revelry for that. Just because it was Sokka. Sokka, the only person, right? Sokka, the only person in the crew, in the original main crew, who didn't have a kid and didn't show up in any way. Well, no, he showed up in flashback, right? Although, hold up. In the Sokka flashback where he shows up, he does specify that he is the one who beat Combustion Man, right? And that's something that, was that an not an acknowledgement, was that something that they added in? Because it wouldn't be the first time, they added in or said something or, responded to the fans via the show, right? And I'm like, yeah, I think a lot of people would have been like, because in the episode where Combustion Man goes down, what was the episode called? It's not like the Eastern Air Temple. And the Combustion Man thing is like at the end of the episode. What's at the beginning? The beginning is just Zuko being like, I'm so awkward. Hello, that's where Hello Zuko here comes from, right? Yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah. I can't remember the episode name. Not that it matters what the name of the episode was. But yeah, in that episode, Zuko comes in, Tarzan style, and he protects Team Avatar from a blast from Combustion Man. And, you know, fair enough, because that blast that Combustion Man was about to do was a sneak attack. They were completely oblivious to his presence, and it was going to be a direct hit sneak attack. Okay? But Zuko saves them right then and there. And then Zuko continues to try and talk down / fight Combustion Man at that point. Right? And Team Avatar is kind of on the sideline watching. But not Zuko. What is it? Sokka throws his boomerang. The miracle shot. The magic bullet shot from Sokka. He throws his boomerang, hits Combustion Man, and he is the one who does Combustion Man in, right? But by the end of the episode, Team Avatar, minus one person, it's kind of like, yeah, Zuko, thank you for saving us. Thank you for beating Combustion Man. We'll let you join us and teach Aang firebending, right? But I'm pretty sure, like, you know it, I know it. Like, Zuko didn't do that. Combustion Man blew himself up. Zuko just climbed back up on the cliff. And it's like Combustion Man was gone. Zuko was standing where Combustion Man had fell. And, like, I guess right, that at the end of the day, it's like, okay, we turned away. Combustion Man was there. And when we look back, Combustion Man's gone and Zuko's standing there. So, therefore, Zuko saved us, right? If that, you know, is why they recruited Zuko, like, you know, everybody knows that Combustion Man went down because of Sokka. And so, in the episode from Korra, Sokka says, why, I once bested a man with my trusty boomerang who could shoot fire from his brain, or something like that. That's what he says in the episode. Yo, I didn't have an auto revive. Damn. I was level 45 too. Ah, that sucks. That sucks. Let me get some, first time HP becomes low, spawn a heal shrine, while HP is above 1. Let me do this. But yeah, what is it? Sokka says, like, I once bested a man with my trusty boomerang who could shoot, beams out of his head, right? And I think, you know, I want to be like, that's an acknowledgement, because the fans would be like, during, or not during, but the fans would be like, in the episode where that happens, they would be like, oh, Zuko's recruited by Team Avatar because, you know, they're like, Zuko, thanks for saving us, you beat Combustion Man. And people would write in or something, or email, or whatever it would be at that time, right? They'd be like, but wait a minute, Zuko didn't beat Combustion Man, Sokka's boomerang did. And so maybe that point in Korra where Sokka says that is the acknowledgement that we were waiting for. Well, I say we, I never wrote a letter or anything like that, right? But maybe, just maybe, you know what, let's take some mines. I never used mines before, but that last run with the mines was actually pretty good. It was actually pretty good, so I'm going to try it again. What was I talking about? Was I talking about Avatar? Was I talking about Korra? Was I talking about Last Airbender, the movie? Yo, I saw Last Airbender in theaters day one. Absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. The only reason that I did not walk out of Last Airbender, like, I don't even know when. The fact, like, I have seen, like I said, I've seen Avatar, The Last Airbender in its entirety, like, over a dozen times. I've only seen Last Airbender once, and that was the day it released. But the only reason I didn't walk out of that movie, and it would have been the first and only movie I ever walked out of. The only reason I didn't is because I was the ride to my friends who were with me at the theater, right? And if I had walked out, I would have just left them. I would have left them had I gone and walked out. So, ooh. But yeah, absolute dog. And I felt so... who else saw the movie but felt like super... I don't know, vindicated's the word. I don't know, happy? I guess? Like, you know what made me happy about A Last Airbender? It was the community. Or rather, the togetherness, the unanimous opinion that it was terrible. I remember... what was it? It was like on Nickelodeon, or was it something else? Maybe it was an online web show or something. But they were like, hey, we're outside the screening of Last Airbender, and we're talking to the Avatar fans. Anybody in line like the movie? And everybody in line just yells no. And oh man, that was hilarious. But the reason I even mention it / bring it up is because the two people I went to the movie with, these a-holes, when we left the movie, I voiced how I would have walked out and that this was probably the worst movie I had ever seen. I almost see a lot of movies, sure, but still, that was my opinion. And it still is. It's still, to this day, the worst movie I've ever seen. Because I don't watch a lot of movies. It might be Last Airbender's fault. But yeah. What was I saying? So, I told them this was probably the worst movie I've ever seen, and they hit back at me with, it wasn't that bad. One of them was like, it wasn't that bad, I actually enjoyed it. He basically did the whole, Into the Ember Island Players thing, right? But the other person was like, I actually liked it. It was really good. And I don't know if you've ever had the negative opinion in the group and are just like, hey, I'm going to be the jerk that's like, you can't like this thing. I refuse to allow you to like it. I'm going to make sure that you are like me and do not like it by constantly repeating it and telling you your opinion's wrong. I don't know if you've ever done that / been that, right? It is not a great thing to do. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but not with Last Avatar you ain't. No. None of that, right? Did I not pick up that chest? Am I crazy? What was I saying? Right? So, yeah. The thing that got me, the thing that really got me, though, was it? It's like years later, for whatever reason, Last Airbender gets brought up again. And to these people, who I'm still friends with, I'm like, hey, remember that time we saw Last Airbender and I said it was awful and you two defended it in the theater? And they just go, nope, I don't remember that. And I was so mad. I'm like, this revisionist history of when you guys were like, the Last Airbender was okay. No, none of that. I'm so salty. But yeah, Last Airbender is terrible. Last Airbender is absolute garbage. Last Airbender is dog. It is... I can't stress to you how much I loathe this movie. But I do, in fact, love that, everybody... No, I say everybody. I do love the fact that, a lot of people are like, Last Airbender is trash, right? Just like me, people, come in and they're like, no, Last Airbender is garbage. Last Airbender is... So I like that that's the consensus. I, in fact, love that that's the consensus that, is pretty much unanimous. Also, at the time, what was it at the time? At the time, Thank you to the fans, because you got me through with your opinions of, Boo Last Airbender. Like, even on, like, what was it? Nickelodeon did its own, like, I was about to say reward. Nickelodeon does like its own award show, and Last Airbender didn't show up there. I remember that being a thing. Last Airbender was not a part of it. But yeah, it's like the critics of the time, like film critics, online reviewers, they went and they saw Last Airbender 2, right? Because, that's what they do. And they were not hard on The Last Airbender like we were. They actually had the opinion, if I remember correctly, of, yeah, it wasn't a good movie, but it's not as bad as people are saying. And I'm like, did you see Avatar ever? Do you know what Avatar The Last Airbender is? And it's like, well, no, I haven't seen Avatar, but, well then, no, I'm not saying your opinion's invalid. I'm just saying, your idea of it's not as bad as people are saying, maybe the people who are saying that are huge fans of Avatar have a point. Maybe. How did I get on this? Speaking of bad, Legend of Korra Season 2. Oh man, remember that part where Janora turns into an astral projection and possesses a giant kaiju Korra? I sure loved that. Oh, baby, it's the best. Oh, I love it. Yo, Season 2. And even Season 1. Like, I talk about Season 1, and I'm like, yeah, Season 1 was great, but no. Like, there's a ton of great stuff in Season 1 and a ton of stuff to love. But even on first viewing, I was like, I'm not a fan of this love triangle BS. I'm just not into it. It's not my thing. I don't like it. I don't want no part of it. Please stop. That was the low point of Season 1 for me. I really didn't like it. But, everything else, Amon, I think is a great villain. I think he got a great end to him. Though, this was, I think this, and I've heard it echoed in hearing other people talk about Korra too. The idea of, what is it? The one and done? Or what? It's like a word for it. I'm not loading up TV tropes to find said word either. But it's just like the idea that the Equalists all disappear after Season 1. And it's like, should they really have all just disappeared? Right? Should they have? I mean, I get it. Amon was their leader, and Amon's gone. Right? But still, whatever happened to your boy? You remember the main... I guess he was the main Equalist. Like, he was the only person in the Equalist who wasn't fodder, right? What happened to your boy with, like, the glasses? Oh, God, and the pro bending. Oh. Yo, did anybody love pro bending? Like, for real? Like, I feel like if people did love pro bending, why don't we have a pro bending game? I don't know why that's my immediate go-to. Hey, if you love it so much, why don't we have a game of it? But I kind of am like that right now, where it's like, if you loved pro bending, why don't we have a pro bending game of any sort? But I could be wrong. Maybe there was a pro bending mini game or something inside that one Legend of Korra game we got. Another thing is that we... Like, I get it, I guess, because it's Nickelodeon, right? If Avatar was owned by, like, Sony or something, we would have like some legit Avatar games, right? Because this Avatar is ripe for a ton of stuff, right? Avatar can have a bunch of other spin-off TV shows that don't, which, what was it? It's like the Legend of Genji or something. I don't know if that's actually an Avatar thing or if it's a fan thing, right? I forget what it is. and then the comics, and then like the constant trying and I think failing of seeing something Avatar live action. I don't know. I've heard about the Netflix one. I've been hearing about the Netflix one for like a decade now, I think, and I still have nothing or have seen nothing of it. But it's like other Avatar cartoons, movies, video games. There's so much you can do with it, and it's just the fact that it's under Nickelodeon, and Nick is just one of those, I guess, that don't want to do anything with it. Replace Shrinkage. The heck is Shrinkage? Is that the... Oh, it's that water thing that I don't like. Rain? Sure. Replace Shrinkage with Rain. I don't care. Oh god, Rain sucks. Well, anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, I guess Nick is just one of those who don't want to do anything with it. And you know, it's not... I was about to say it's not exclusive to Nick, and it really isn't. It's not exclusive to, you know, just... I want to be like companies that don't know what they have, right? Because, you know, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, pick a company, pick a video game company at that, and there's a property that they're sitting on, and people are like, yeah, why aren't you doing anything with this? This property is amazing. You're sitting on something great. And they just refuse to do anything with it, right? So it's not just that. What we could get from a good Avatar game, though? It's pretty good, if you think about it. If you think about it, it's pretty strong. Legend of Korra. The Korra-sami thing came out of nowhere. Whoever saw that coming? Well, I sure did. Yo, I saw that coming immediately. I thought I was going crazy. Well, okay, I didn't. But, like, it's like the... What was it? It's like season... what was it? I forget. It's either season 3? Yeah, it's the season 3 finale. That's just like, and it's the moment where I'm watching this scene, and Asami's the person with Korra, and Asami's like, Korra, if you need anything, I'm here for you. And Asami just puts her hand on Korra's knee, and I'm like, wait a minute, yo. Am I reading too much into this? I don't think I am. So from that point on, I was just Hawkeye, looking at any moment with with Korra and Asami on screen to be like, yo, what's going on? From that moment on, I was shipping them, and I was like, yo, if it goes here, insane. And guess where it went? Yo. Korra-sami. Yo, Yuri, possibly my favorite genre. I'm not gonna pretend, right? Okay, no, maybe not that, but still, Korra-sami, strong. I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan. Does that save Legend of Korra for me? Hell no, right? It just does so much that I'm just not a fan. Blasphemous to say, but I'm gonna say it. I would have rather they had just adapted, like, the comics, the search, even though the search wasn't flawless. Like I said, I love the parts about the building of Republic City. I enjoy the parts about Toph and her metal bending school, though her students, Yo, I love Toph, and therefore, you know, more Toph and Toph doing stuff is a positive for me. But, yo, Toph, her students are not. So, right? That's how I felt. But yeah, Korra, Korra, Sami, yo. And, yo, they couldn't even show... They held... If you don't remember, if you do not remember, which fair enough, but it was like, you had people coming in and being like, yeah, they just holding hands, they're just as friends going on a field trip to the spirit world, and I'm just sitting here as the person who, from the second that, like, Asami put her hand on Korra's knee and was like, yo, I'm here for you, from that very second, I was like, yo, they aren't, right? And that was the first hint they ever dropped, for the record. Like, anybody who's saying there was more hints before that, no. You're just reading into legit nothing. Like, being like the idea that, what was it? In season 1, as early as season 1, where it's like, oh, remember that scene where Korra goes over to Asami's place for the, to swim in her pool, right? Remember that look they gave? No. I promise you it wasn't thought of or conceived of at that point. I promise you. Especially, you know, season 1, right? Especially season 1, when, you know, they weren't convinced that they were even getting more. Remember that? Remember that part about them not knowing they were getting more than one season? Come on, be real with me. But yeah, the people who were just like cope any way you can. Think of something, any way to pretend that this isn't really happening. They're just good friends. They're just holding hands. They're just going on a vacation together. Yo. Korra sees, what was it? The Red Lotus? I'm gonna be real with you. I do not like the idea of lava bending. I just don't. And it isn't even like it should be an avatar only power, or that it should have been a fire bending power and not a fire bending power and not a what am I trying to say? A earth bending. Oh, what was I blanking on that? It's not that. It's just like, I don't know. I'm like, it's too much. You're going to give them both metal and lava bending? Come on. And then, the Bolin thing got me. It got me feeling some type of way. It had me legit upset to be like, yeah, Bolin can't learn to metal bend, bitch, because he's a lava bender. Come on, really? This is what we're doing? Get me out. I don't like it. So I don't like lava bending. I just don't. Right? Yo, what is even the... I want to be like, yo, what's the point? What's the point of lava bending? But it's like... not the point, but more like, yo, when are you ever going to practically be able to just, like, lava bend? Like, for real. Be honest. When can you ever lava bend? And it's like, well, when can you fire bend, right? Because fire bending is, I'm not going to say is equally as destructive, but I just feel a certain type of way about lava bending. And the things I want to throw at lava bending and be like, lava bending is dumb, they're kind of hypocritical, because it's like, yeah, I could still say the same thing about a lot of fire bending and whatever. I just feel, I'm just not a fan. I'm just genuinely not a fan of lava bending. What else? The final villain, and then, like, was the reception of season 2? Because we go into the mech thing, and it's like, in season 2 we had the kaiju thing, and then in season 4 we get a giant freaking mech. Come on, man. In season 1, as long as we're talking about things I don't like, I do not like the return of Dante Bosco in season 1. Like, I love Dante Bosco, right? Very unique, distinctive voice, right? But for the Iroh character, not Iroh, but like General Iroh, we could have done something better. I don't like General Iroh, and I don't think he was utilized well. But hey, maybe that's just me. Maybe that's little old me, just being a sourpuss about amazing things that happened in Legend of Korra, right? So, you know what? I'm still like, season 1, I still think is great. You know, despite any problems or, you know, crap I could throw at it. Season 2, I think it starts out really good. I mean, minus the fact that Korra, you know, completely regresses. Despite minus that fact, I think it's pretty on point. What else? Season 3? What's season 3? Season 3 is the Red Lotus, right? Yeah, season 3 is the Red Lotus. The Red Lotus, is that the best season? Hold on. I'm trying to think. I want to be like Red Lotus season. The best season? I mean, if it's between season 3 and season 4 for the best season, but is season 1 a contender? I don't know. I really love Amon. I think Amon was the best villain, right? I think he had the best backstory, the best justification. I genuinely am down for Amon. Replace Hailstorm. Oh wait, that's what this is? Okay. Give me this. But does that equate to the best season? Well, I'm not going to give it to season 4. Yeah, it'd be between season 3 and season 4 for me. I mean, not... Woo! Season 1 and season 3 for me. Because as much as I love Korrasami, and I really do, I genuinely love Korrasami, bro. I was rooting for that jump. In fact, yo, I remember watching the Korra finale, and I was like, if they do this, I'm a freak. I'm a freak. I'm not gonna tear up like a lot of, you know, the reactions that were out there, but I was of the mindset of like they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. I've been seeing these hints they were dropping, but there's no way in the world anything outside of Japan is gonna let this happen. And lo and behold, and they played you right. They made sure you stuck around for it, because it's like Korra is sitting there by herself. Who's coming? Tenzin. And you're just like, no. And then Asami shows up. Yo, let me get my squeeze in. It's squee as in the sound, squee, not squeeze as in, you know, the action. But yeah, that was a genuine great moment. Like, if we're talking about like moments of Avatar period, not just Korra specific, but like Avatar period, hell, it might be one of my favorite cartoon moments period. Hell, it might be one of my favorite moments of, like, in general, entertainment wise, right? I absolutely love that moment where it's like, yo, I've been seeing these hints, what's about to happen, and she just rolls up. Tenzin, you gotta get out of here, man. It's not your time. Not now, Tenzin. Anybody else want in? Yo, I loved it. So, you know, for all the crap that I have been giving Korra, which I think is justified in a lot of ways, and yes, can try to dismiss all of it or most of it and be like, yeah, it's on Nick. That's entirely Nick's fault. But still, no, Korra, the writers and whatever have some fault. The clip show is another thing. Look, Ember Island Players is still like the best clip show wrap up, or not wrap up, what is it? There's another word. Not flashback. Catch up? I guess. Clip show / catch up ever. Like, Ember Island Players is the gold standard, the absolute best. I don't think I've ever seen one better. And that's, you know, kind of, you know, why I love Avatar so much, and why I think Avatar is goated so much, is because a lot of instances in Avatar are just like, these are some of the best moments of any media I've ever seen, or any fiction I've ever seen. And Ember Island Players is like, can I think of another clip show that's even up there with it? No, I cannot. I can't think of another clip show that I even remember from a show, right? I can't think of another recap episode of another show that I even remember, right? That's me. But Ember Island Players, I have rewatched as many times as I've rewatched Avatar. Like, it's like in my top 10 favorite episodes of the show, I think. I honestly would put it there. The recap in Korra, or the clip show in Korra, they needed to do a clip show, if you don't know, and I could be wrong here, but I believe what it was that they needed to do a clip show because, it was either do a clip show or have to let go of the staff because of, Nickelodeon. And so they did a clip show. It is not Ember Island Players. Yeah, go figure. It is not Ember Island Players, but is it a bad clip show? It's done in a way, and it couldn't be Ember Island Players, I don't believe, because, they had to do it in order to save staff, right? And so, I don't think they had the budget that they would have for an Ember Island Players, obviously. And so what they did was they did kind of like a codec call type deal with the villains having a running commentary over the previous seasons. I believe that's how it was done. And it's like Amon, Unalak. Wait, that was his name, right? Yeah, Amon. Wait, was it Vatu or was it Unalak? Or was it both of them? Not Yukon. Yukon's like the dad of Amon. What's his name? The leader of the Red Lotus. Zahir. Kuvira wasn't in there, right? She couldn't have been, because I think this was a season 3 recap. So it would have been Amon, Zahir, and Vatu. And Unalak is the guy that they were like, oh, don't let him into the call. But yeah, while it's not the Ember Island Players, not even close, it is another good one. Another good one. And, like, I remember it. So, yeah, that's how you know. That's how you know. I can't think of other recap episodes from anything else. The only two I can remember are both from Avatar things. So, they both have to be some of the best I've seen. Hey, we hit level 50. Cool. And I'm luckily just being able to just stand here. Now, the enemies are getting closer and closer. And at some point, they are going to be getting to me because I just don't have the damage. Damage, please. Any damage in here? Damage? I'm almost out of rerolls. You can give me some damage. Here we go. Damage. Some kind. We'll pick it up because it said damage. That's about it. But yeah. What else? Anything else to talk about? Because this run's gonna end, and hopefully I'm out of talking points when it finally does. Wait a minute, wait, I thought I was at level 50. Yo, where am I level 47 now? Oh, did I miss something? Am I crazy? Did I go crazy? Am I mad? I might be mad. Okay, well, we're level 48. Hopefully we can get back to 50 before we die. And that'll be the end of this run. But yeah. Avatar. Most controversial thing about it. Like, Avatar, not, anything else Avatar related. The ending of Avatar. Yo, I know I don't edit these, or I try not to, because that's the point of a rambling video for me. But, like, I hopefully, I'll put a thing at the beginning that's like spoilers for Avatar and Korra going forward. Level 49, we gotta do it again. We gotta get to 50. So please don't be able to kill me right now. Please do not. No, 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 no. But yeah, should Aang have, killed the Fire Lord? I'm not going to say that he should have. I'm going to say that, remember that whole glue bending idea? I'm going to say that I would have been more happy if that's how it was done, right? And it's Avatar, so you can be like, he was never going to kill the Fire Lord. Oh, I would have been like, yo, he could have. He could have. Like, if they're going to take they're going to run with Korrasami later down the road, they could have gotten away with it. All right, they couldn't have. They literally couldn't have gotten away with it, but you know how crazy it would have been if that was the case? I mean, it's already a goated cartoon. It's already one of the... we were past 50 already. But it's already, one of the absolute greatest cartoons of all time. But you know how much greater and ridiculous it would have been if the ending was legitimately Aang kills somebody. He just outright kills them. But no. I subscribe to the camp of, the Lion Turtles, where the hell did these come from? And I do know about all the Lion Turtle mentions and showing up and whatever. I know they were in the library episode. They showed up in a book, right? Aang shows Katara the book and he's like, hey, look at these Lion Turtle things. I know there were statues of them. I know that, what is his name? What is this man's name? Why can I not remember it off the top of my head? I said it earlier. Boomy Piandao. There we go. I know that Piandao says, like, Sokka, your heart's as big as a lion turtle's, right? I remember that, but that doesn't change anything. That doesn't change anything. I, at one point, was like, if I'm going to get somebody to watch Avatar, I gotta give them a not director's cut, but a cut that's specifically, like, before the finale of Avatar, you get part 1 and 2 of Beginnings, the thing that plays in Korra season 2, at the halfway point of Korra season 2, the beginning special, that right before the finale of Avatar. That way the Lion Turtles don't come completely out of nowhere, right? That was the thing I had in mind. But then I don't remember what video I watched, but I used to love Beginnings, but then I sat down and watched this super critical video of Beginnings that was like this, and I couldn't dispute them, right? As somebody who really enjoyed Beginnings, when I came through and I watched the video that was like, this is why Beginnings sucks, this, I was like, oh snap, I was wrong. So while I'm still not that hard on Beginnings, I do understand that, like, Beginnings, not it, homie. It's not it. And, I did feel a certain way about the kites from the very beginning. If you know, you know. But yeah, how should Avatar have ended? Aang not killing the Fire Lord? Look, hindsight is everything. I'm speaking from hindsight. I'm speaking also as somebody who's like, man, I would have really loved to seen this. And everybody's got their different taste. Somebody could be like, man, I sure would have loved Avatar a lot more if Aang had hair the entire time. And it's like, nah. But so take whatever I'm about to say with a grain of salt. I would have preferred if energy bending, I would have personally preferred if energy bending was a thing that was around longer / the entire time, and Aang just couldn't do it. Like, Aang had failed to do it to, like, Zuko. He was like, alright, I'm gonna finally get rid of Zuko. And he tried to energy bend Zuko, and he just failed. And I get it. Hold up. Because I do know that energy bending is a thing where you put your soul against theirs, and if you lose, you're corrupted, right? So I get that, but what I'm talking about is a different form of energy bending. Remove that one drawback of your soul being corrupted by theirs, right? Or maybe make it say that, oh, if the person's will is like super duper strong, that they can corrupt yours. And so therefore when he tries to use it on Zuko and fails, it does nothing, because Zuko just is not as strong-willed as Ozai in that moment or something. But I just was like, this was a thing that I had, like, I don't know, years ago. How do I feel about it now? Right now, how I feel about it is that, like, take the good with the bad and all of its avatar, right? If I could have the ultimate avatar where it's like everything I disliked was changed to something that I personally liked, yeah, that'd be cool, but it also wouldn't be Avatar The Last Airbender, right? It would be something else, and I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like you take the good with the bad, and it's all, all of it in combination makes Avatar, right? Right? The things I like, the things I don't like, it's Avatar. And while there are episodes that I skip on a rewatch, they are not episodes that I there are episodes that I skip, but it's not that I don't want them to exist or to not be there, right? So, like, the thing I was saying previously, before I came to thinking that way, where I'm like, yeah, you take the good with the bad, because all of it's Avatar. Every part of it made Avatar for me. So the thing I had was, like, I wish that energy bending was around. It was this thing that Aang could never fully realize / do, and he finally can do it versus Ozai, right? We see him trying and failing to do it over and over again, and then in the finale is when he finally can pull it off, right? That's the idea I had, and I don't know how well that will work. I don't know, like, how good of an idea that is, but yeah, as of now, I don't care that Aang, kills Ozai or not. Like, like, my biggest thing was never the whole Aang doesn't kill Ozai, for the record. My thing had been the Lion Turtles. That was my hang-up. My hang-up wasn't that, Aang isn't just taking out people he doesn't like, which, I love that scene. My hang-up was always, from the beginning, where did these Lion Turtles come from? And they can just give this away? What? Right? Uh-oh, this might be the end, so I better wrap this up, because they are getting closer and closer to me, and I can't get any more knockback than I already have, or damage, because we are not picking up damage. All we're picking up is crit rate. But yeah, anything else? Any last thoughts I want to get into Avatar before this all comes crashing down? And it is about to come crashing down, because you gave me nothing. Crit multiplier. Really? I have 26% crit chance. Come on. Come on, man. They want me to lose at this point. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. And I don't have an auto revive. I don't have one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Hey, a healing shrine. Oh, that was the, level 66. That was the, Avatar ramble. Any things that I didn't get to, I would have liked to have weighed in on the Ozai versus Iroh debate thing. Iroh, you know what, I'll make it very quick. Maybe I'll say my piece in detail in a later ramble or something, but here's my piece. I think that the fight would be the moment, when Aang has Ozai dead to rights with lightning bending, and Aang is looking at Ozai, and Ozai's looking at Aang like, oh snap, this is the end, and Aang looks at Ozai, and then he turns away and shoots the lightning in the air. That exact moment, but with Iroh instead, and then the question becomes, do you think Iroh would do it? Would Iroh kill Ozai, yes or no? If you think he would, yes, then Iroh wins. Iroh beats Ozai. If you think he doesn't, which I don't think he would, I don't think he has it in him to take out Ozai. then the answer is no. Iroh loses to Ozai, because Iroh releasing that lightning, he doesn't get a second wind. He doesn't get a once more save like Aang does with the Avatar state. When Iroh goes on the back foot, that's the end of the fight. So yeah, that's my take on that. It was fun. It was fun and very long, I think. Don't forget to edit and put a spoiler thing. Come on, remember to do it. Till the next rambling.
That might come back to bite us in the blubber.
I don't care. From now on, we do whatever it takes to find Appa.
Yeah, let's break some rules!